Gansey support group and knitted fairly much in tandem the whole way through.
And knit along, a real two-person knit along.
It was, and really that was enough for us.
Yeah.
Two was plenty. So, you want to pick your song?
Okay, where's yours? Yours is a
It's
beautiful
right
one.
there. Oh,
Yours
please.
first.
Hers is sweet.
No, yours is better.
After you, Alphonse.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
Tell Matt your rule.
Okay.
Yeah, tell him.
You know, one of the things that Pam and I have in common, one of the things that bonds us as knitters is we are both obsessive compulsive when it comes to swatching. And I don't know how much you did, but I used a little over 600 yards in swatches before I ever cast on. You laugh, but I felt very confident once I put those stitches on the needle. After they were on the needle, that was a whole other story, but still, I felt very confident as I was putting the stitches. Didn't you?
Oh, yes. I would never start without a lot of swatches.
Right.
No way.
You know, you want to know everything that it's going to do before, well, she brought
I
hers.
brought one of them.
I wasn't even allowed to bring enough shoes for this trip, so I didn't bring my swatches because they take up
Did
as
you
much.
really keep it to 4 pair?
Honey, I kept it to 3 and I wore purple ones just for you.
Oh my God.
So-
3 pair of shoes
I know.
for a weekend?
I know. I'm kind of embarrassed, but hey, I have Zappos on speed dial. They know the address of this hotel.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah.
Sorry about your.
Okay, so mine's a Dutch Gansey book. Can you pull that out, Amy, so everybody can lust after it?
Maybe.
This book,
Walk down as you talk.
okay, I did not, like I said, I've got Dutch heritage. Wasn't interested in this book just because of its scarcity. It's a wonderful book. The stories about the villages, it is amazing. And James and I have another thing. We have book lust in common. We have all the Gansey books.
Yes.
We read all the Gansey books before we ever started, probably even our swatches. And this is Erk 1 out of the book. And I fell in love with the original museum one, so I knit it pretty much. You'll see James and I have different tastes in colors, but I had to make it a Schoolhouse Press version and a finish. So mine's the Wendy, hers is.
Yes, the real stuff.
So, but we read everything we could and we enjoyed so much, all the reading and learning about the villages and the Ganseys and the people and the incredible authors who have researched his history. It's so much fun. That was the funnest part, and knitting was just icing on the cake. We just had so much fun with this.
It is just
Thank you.
spectacular.
James, he's the style maven here, for sure. Here, we're gonna tuck in. I just had to snip mine off quickly before.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Dad. I always wanted to have a dresser. Okay, so, yeah, a little over 600 yards of swatching, and tried a lot of different patterns, and I learned a lot. I learned that I am the world's worst purler, which is not what you want to be when you're making a Gansey. But I also learned that I can plot the shit out of that. And did. In fact, I even went so far as to get a jumper board from the Shetland Islands to block this out. So mine didn't come from any actual book. I just sort of took a whole bunch of different things that I liked. The yarn is Frangipani, which comes from Penzance, England. So I like to pretend like the people that work there are pirates, so I can tell people I got my yarn from the pirates of Penzance. I bought 478 buttons and ended up with these 3. I'm pretty pleased with these, although I may change them after camp. You never know. I decided to do a button collar, and that was very much a last minute. Everything in this Gansey was a last minute decision. You know, it really was sort of, aside from knowing that I was going to use these stitch patterns, everything was to kind of fix it as you go. I wanted to do a cable on either side of the phony seam, and so I carried it around the gusset.
That is fancy.
And then reverse the cable at the meat of the gusset and so that they're going the same direction when your arms are down. Because crap like that bothers me.
Have you ever seen a picture of it from the back? You know you have a Mr. and Cable in the back, right?
There's a sign-up sheet for the I Hate Aviation Club. I'm founder and president. Let's see. There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, so I didn't really. It's always bothered me aesthetically, the Ganseys that don't either start all the way at the ribbing or start here. So I made myself do one that didn't. And I left just enough space for my 3 initials right there.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, cool.
Why didn't you do, you don't like the split
You're,
on bottom?
you're thankful for my years of runway experience, aren't you? Yes. Yes. So, and then while I like things to be traditional, I'm also the world's laziest knitter, and I could not for the life of me convince myself to split the front and back like real Gansey knitters would. And so I put steaks in for armholes, and I put
How many conversations did we have about that? We discussed that at length, didn't we?
there are probably 14 Ravelry messages about this long, each one, about whether to or not to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it. One of my kind of disappointments with this, and it's not real disappointment, one of my kind of disappointments is, you know, a really traditional Gansey would be knitted to 8 stitches to the inch, and I could only get down to 7.5 on double zeros. So I knitted the whole thing on double zeros and went with the 7.5, and now I just lie about it and say it's 8. Because I have yet to have anybody come up to me with a ruler. So,
Well, and Janine May just says that that is the $10 rule. If anybody is that close to you that they know that it's 7.5 instead of 8, they should be shoving $10 in your bra.
I will try to wear it well.
It is. They are just both fantastic. So you didn't do this. You didn't want to do a split welt. Why didn't you do a split about them?
I did.
Why didn't you?
And
do
I
this?
did Channel Island cast on. I actually, if you look at my
Swatch.
swatch, I started with a garter stitch welt, which I love, but I didn't like the look, how it looked with my Gansey patterns. I thought that it was much harmonious, and of course the original was ribbed. So I did Channel Island cast on, but you have 40 11-7 ends to weave in if you do a split welt. So I did it, but oh, that was a painful thing.
40, 11, 7?
It was a lot.
It's a lot.
And then I did a center seam, and this little gusset is straight out of Meg's Gansey DVD video. It's nice. It is a reverse stockinette bisected underarm gusset. And so it worked, and it really does just recedes back in, and it's there when you need the extra room.
Well, I can't focus because it's here.
I did a little tiny fake. You see that little tiny
Like
fake?
all there. Almost.
Little
get it.
tiny fake gusset. It's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, the Dutch Gansey book does not say use gusset, but we decided we had to have gusset.
Well, that's why you do a lot of research, so you can do the parts you want and turn your back on the rest.
The only part, what do you think was the most difficult part of the sweater? Obviously, the dark blue color.
Sleeve cuffs.
No, I didn't have any trouble with that. No, it was dark blue color.
Oh, yeah, the on the sewing machines?
No, sewing machines and me, no, not ever near my age, no. It worked perfectly, it was just tiny.
You could, I mean, one could use a
One
sewing
could,
machine.
but
But-
not near my age.
Some of us are a little pure about mixing the two.
So anyway.
Yarn and thread, not the same.
And what was the yarn you used?
Guernsey.
It was, oh yeah, we got it.
Yeah, show that. Isn't that
This
nice
is,
ball?
this is the stuff Meg sells in the 4 original colors, and it's made at the Poppleton Woolen Mills in the UK. And even though Wendy owns it now, the Wendy brand owns it,
They
it's
do